And now the Hansons and Hiatus podcast with Nate and Alexis.
Happy Friday, fuckers. It is episode 107 of the Hansons on Hiatus podcast. I am your host, Nate. This is my wife, Alexis.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
And don't forget to support the podcast. buymeacoffee.com/Hansons on Hiatus. You can buy us some virtual beers.
And we will drink them.
We will. We always do. But and also, HansonsOnHiatus.com. You can check out the merch store. Lex has a bunch of new designs up there.
We do.
What do you got?
We have spring break stuff, spring break merch.
Spring break!
I know. Everyone loves spring break. I know we might be a little too old for that, but we also got a day called 420 Day. We got that merch up.
Never too old for that.
Never too old for that. And then we got some Easter merch.
Nice.
There. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So check that out, HansonsOnHiatus.com. You also got the links to the podcast.
Yep.
To our Patreon.
Mm-hmm.
You can be a monthly fucky supporter. For $1 a month, you can be a little fucky. For $5 a month, you can be a medium fucky. And for $10 a month, you can be a big old fucky.
Yeah, we love all our fuckies.
We do. And I wanted to thank Luis from Panama, who is our newest fucky supporter. Thank you, my friend. He's a longtime listener, longtime supporter. But I know he was on the Spotify supporter section, and then they got rid of that, so now we're doing the Patreon. So
got it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, welcome back, fucky.
You have to come back to Mexico and visit.
Yeah. I also want to thank some of our other fuckies: Manny, Spandex Thor, Brian P, Antonio, Chrissy, Christina, and Tom.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody who is buying us virtual beers and being a fucky supporter, keeping the podcast going. If you're enjoying these stories and information, feel free to support the podcast.
We appreciate you guys so much.
We do.
Every time you say Spandex Thor, I laugh.
I do
just
too.
think it's so funny.
Yeah.
I'm not an adult.
Yeah. Nor is Spandex Thor.
No,
Just
you
kidding.
don't have to be.
And like, follow, share, subscribe, Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, iTunes, YouTube Music at Hansons on Hiatus.
We be there.
We be everywhere. We be everywhere.
We be there.
I just wanted to start off this episode. This isn't obviously something that happened to us directly, but our friend Brandon that we know, and not Clueless 2 Brandon.
Right. Different Brandon.
Yeah, different Brandon. our friend Brandon from here, who's doing some backpacking around South America.
Mm-hmm.
He just, I was chatting with him the other day via text, and he was just telling me some stuff about his travels through Peru and Ecuador and Argentina and Bolivia and stuff. So
He's a dude that I never know where he is.
No.
People say to us, I never know where you are. No, I never know where he is.
yeah, well, he's not a big social media guy, so it's hard. You don't really know unless you message him. But I just want to share some information that from his travels that I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
So he's in Bolivia right now.
Oh, wow.
And he said, I was asking him like how it was there, and how do you get in and out? You got to get a visa. Is it?
What are you doing?
Yeah, because he's taking like buses around and whatever. Some planes. He said the planes are super cheap within South America. They're like $50,
nice.
like each way or whatever. So I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Interesting.
But he said there's very few gringos there, like very few white people, obviously.
I'm sure.
But he said everybody always thinks he's German, and I was like, oh, that's not like by how he looks. He's just saying. They thought he was German because those are the only people that live like in Argentina and Bolivia and that area are white people. There's a ton of Germans and Mennonites there, he said.
Interesting.
Mennonites surprised me.
Yeah.
Germans actually didn't, because that is the big rumor, or not rumor, I guess conspiracy theory, that Hitler, after the war, like fled to Argentina. And then, I don't think there's really a lot of evidence or whatever that he did that, but a lot of Germans did do that.
Oh, wow.
That's why I guess if you go to Bolivia in Argentina, there's a ton of like German castles there. There's a lot of really didn't we meet somebody that their husband or their ex or something was like this German that lived in Argentina, and he owned this castle and he owned all these things. I thought we talked about that one time. I can't remember who it was.
I don't recall that.
But so yeah, they got a bunch of European influence there from all the Nazis, I guess, that fled there, because I guess like when they tried some of them for war crimes, they had to extradite them or something, or maybe they went back or something like that. But for some reason, they all went to like Argentina.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
Yeah, I don't know. He also said he did not really have issues like getting visas and stuff to the different countries, except for Bolivia. He did have to get one, and it was $160. and it's good for 90 days in Bolivia for 10 years. So for 10 years, he can go back for 90 days to Bolivia for free.
Like 90 days each
year?
year?
Each time. Yeah, each year. So for 10 years, he can go there for 3 months.
I thought they were saying like out of 10 years, you can only go 90 days.
Oh, no. Yeah, no. So like each year. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. But he said their currency is really unstable right now. So I don't know. What is it? What is their currency? It's like Boliviano or something like that.
Sounds right.
Or Boliviar. I don't know what it is. But he said that it's really unstable right now. So if you have US dollars, that you can get like double the amount of what you would normally get like with the exchange rate or whatever. So if it was like, 10 to 1, you're going to get 20 to 1 or something.
Their currency is Boliviano. Boliviano.
Yeah, so who knew? Yeah, so I guess you can get, a bunch extra money if you take USD there. So you said bring cash if you're going there, or like US cash. What else do you say? Oh, coca leaves. So that's like a big thing, obviously in like Colombia, Peru, whatever, like the coca leaves, like that they make cocaine out of.
Yeah.
He said people just chew on them there. It's like drinking coffee, basically. So you just chew on them there, and you're not like coked out or whatever, but I guess you get kind of a little energy boost. And he said they sell them. They're super cheap, I guess. And he said they sell them in different flavors even. He said they have them in banana, coffee, all these different kinds of flavors, and Red Bull.
Red Bull?
Red Bull cocaine leaves.
How are they making the leaves taste like Red Bull?
I don't know.
Like
how do they make it taste like coffee or banana?
I don't know.
Yeah, but
that's weird.
Yeah, it's super weird. But I was like, I guess Red Bull's an energy drink. But also, what does Red Bull taste like? Like, if you had to just describe to me what Red Bull tastes like, what would you say?
Fake sugar.
Yeah. Yes,
or
but like what would be the flavor though? It's like all I can think of is like what Red Bull looks like, and it's like that, like it looks like pee. You know, it's like that weird
like a beer or
orange or like yellowy.
Yeah.
Not even a beer though. It's almost like neon. It's like if neon was a flavor.
That's a good description. I don't know, or good question. I don't know how to describe Red Bull. Gross. Just gross.
Yeah.
Sorry to all the Red Bull drinkers.
Yeah, but I just thought that was interesting since we haven't done a lot of or any traveling in South America. I just thought that was crazy.
I don't know if Bolivia is my first choice, but I'd be interested to check it out.
Yeah, he said he's there for a while, and then he's traveling down to Argentina, and he's going to go to the salt flats. Oh. And it's like the biggest salt flats in the world, and it's I don't know if like they do car races there or something like that. Ooh, but it really cool pictures where it's just like the cracked ground with like all the salt and everything.
I would love to see that.
Yeah. Yeah, so I just thought that was interesting.
Yeah. I want to go to Argentina. I don't know about Bolivia, but
what do you want to go to Argentina for?
We've met a lot of Argentinian friends here, and I love them all, and I love the food,
the
and
food's
the
amazing.
culture as well. So I just like to learn, just like Mexico. I'd like to learn a little more.
They got good wine. They got good
wine.
I mean, and it's a country that goes up and down most of the almost west half of other than Chile, but most of the country. So I've heard it has a lot of different climates, like deserts to mountains to obviously wine. Wine country. And their meat's really good there, so they must have good cattle and everything.
Yeah,
so.
That's what even here, the Argentinian restaurants, they always have good meat.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But this weekend, we took my parents and their two friends that are in Puerto Morelos.
Yep.
We took them to Cozumel because they had never been before.
They've never been. And there are friends that we watch their little Chihuahua Rizzy sometimes, and she's been to Cozumel before they have.
Yeah, twice now.
Twice now.
So we just did the normal route. Well, first we started off at the Kusam Brewery.
Yes.
Did a little beer chug there. What did I do? It was like
You did a.
It was an orange
IPA or
something? No, it was an orange something. Orange Radler.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I had that too, like a breakfast beer.
Yeah.
I've never heard that word, Rattler.
Yeah, it's like
beer.
I mean, it's like it's usually mixed with with beer and then some kind of juice or
like
kind of a juice or a concentrate. Yeah. I think it's normally lemon or lemonade or something.
Huh.
I just remember when we used to live in Orlando, and we'd go to World of Beer, they did a Radler, and it was remember they had that thing I don't know what it's called exactly. It's like a clear tube, kind of like about this big, and they were running other things through it. So they were running like blueberry pancakes, like the beer through blueberry pancakes, so it would get some of that flavor in there.
Very nice.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I think it's normally made with like a lager or a wheat beer, and then half whatever. So
Gotcha.
almost like, what's that one? It's like almost like an Arnold Palmer, but I think they brew in
yeah.
there.
Lemonade
Not super
and
knowledgeable
iced
on
tea.
how Radlers work, but
Yeah.
but it was good. It was really good.
Yeah, I liked it. Very like citrusy and good breakfast beer.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
that.
faux show.
Yeah.
Faux show. Let's see. What else do we do? Okay, so we've talked about this before. We go to this restaurant, Coconuts,
Yes.
and they have these booby books that we talked about. You asked for the books.
I did.
Yeah, you did.
Well, you're supposed to.
Yeah. And it's funny. We give it to my dad. He's like, oh, yeah.
Oh,
can't-
yeah. He
can't
was
look at
like,
this.
whoa.
He probably wanted to, but my mom was right there, and he probably felt weird.
My wife's right there. And
Yeah.
Jackie was looking at him like, I don't care.
Yeah. And then they also have that apron that shows, or that when you say, why are you so happy, they will pull a string behind their apron and a big black dick will pop up. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like styrofoam or something like that, right?
Yeah, it looks like a Muppet, like foam, but they all have different colored dicks. And
Yeah.
they fly up like so funny.
Yeah. So this time was different. And the guy came over and I said, why are you so happy? And he just kind of looked at me and gave me like a kind of, it was a weird smirk. He said a lot with this smirk.
Yeah.
It was just kind of like, it was like, haha, but fuck no at the
Yeah.
same time. It was
No way, buddy. You
Yeah.
have to be a girl.
but that's not the case usually.
No.
And it's not, he's not showing us his real dick.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
duh. I hope not.
Because it'd be weird.
It'd be
it
really
looked like a Muppet dick.
But I asked him too, and he gave me the same smirk.
Yeah, that's what I say.
Yeah.
But you didn't ask him. You asked a different guy,
Right.
and he did the same thing.
Yeah.
So
it's like we don't do that anymore.
yeah, I don't know, but
or-
I could see the dick behind his thing.
I could
So
see his dick.
is it just is that like I don't know? You know, like some restaurants where they have to sing like a happy birthday song or something. Is it kind of like fucking tourists? You know,
I
that kind of
know.
thing.
We
or
were
like-
thinking too. There was a couple, not kids, but under 21 that were there having. But it's not like he was flashing them. He was facing us, and we were next to the ocean. So I don't know. I'm confused why they discriminated against us.
Yeah. And how weird is it that, I mean, it's only like a word of mouth thing.
Yeah.
The same thing with the books, but how weird is it that there's a word of mouth thing that these waiters every day before they probably have to ride a motorcycle or something over to this opposite side of the island where
Yeah.
there's nobody around, that they have to strap on a fake dick
Right.
just for the case that like one dude might remember that you ask them why you're so happy and they pull their dick out.
They
But
probably get there and then put their little aprons on.
Oh, you don't think so? They're
You
not
want the
just like-
black dick today. Or?
yeah, you don't think that they're riding on their moped with like their dick like flapping in their face?
Now I have an amazing image. and
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know why they didn't show it to us. It was very weird.
Yeah.
I will say though, I've never said dick more in my life than that day. We were like, they would show us their dicks.
Show the dick. And then the booby books was funny because I think we did we talked about it another episode a while ago that we saw our neighbor in
Yeah.
the booby books with like hopefully not his mom or wife or
Oh.
whatever, but
Yeah, I
he was
don't
with some lady.
Yep.
We were looking through him again. This other booby book, we see a guy that we know that lives in Cozumel. I mean, he wasn't doing anything weird.
Yeah.
He's a tour guide, but he was definitely with two ladies with their boobies out.
He was.
We haven't met his wife yet, so I hope that it was not his wife because I'm like, I'm not going to be able to look at you the same
Yeah.
if I meet you.
I know. The one, there were two women, like you said, and the one looked like, yeah, let's show these. And the other one was like, eat. So I bet that was his wife.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully. Yeah, but
Or just tours.
yeah. We do have a new form of entertainment now on the ferry home from Cozumel.
Oh, do tell.
Sitting in front of the bathroom on the ferry.
Yes.
Yeah, because for some reason, well, not for some reason, it's a boat.
Yeah.
And people are drunk.
Yep.
And they have a really hard time closing the bathroom door.
Yeah.
This one girl comes out of the bathroom full bikini and is just sloshing around trying to get the door shut, just stumbling, and nobody's really saying much at this point. Then the staff goes in, one of the ladies that works on the boat, she's having a hard time shutting the door.
It was a little rocky that day.
It was. Then this other guy goes in there and he goes to pee. Door just flings open while he's trying to grab it, and
And we all have front row with your family. We're all like, ah.
So it finally swings shut. I don't think he shut it. I just think it swung shut.
Oh, yeah.
And then it flings open again. And he starts waving at everybody. Everybody's cheering.
He's like, yeah. Woo.
Yeah. And then finally, old Jeff Bezos looking motherfucker comes out and he's like, it's all part of the show, folks. All I can think of is, I hope he put the seat up because there's got to be piss everywhere in that bathroom.
Oh my God, everywhere. He's probably like, woo,
yeah, woo, fire hose.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but yeah, so if you're ever on the ferry boat back from Cozumel, sit right in front of the bathrooms at least on the Shailene boat.
Yeah, the Ashkaret boat.
Fucking hilarious.
Prime real estate for seeing all these wonderful things happen. The morning boat, not so much action. The evening boat, yes.
Yes, lots more. But our friends, Greg and Julie that came with us, they had rented a car from Puerto Morelos and drove down, and they stayed in Playa the night. And then when we went over to Cozumel, they needed a place to park their car. So there's a parking lot right across the street from us that is like 15 pesos an hour.
Very convenient, big parking lot.
Yeah, what's 15 pesos? Like 80 cents?
Yeah.
Yeah, because 20 pesos is about $1, so 15 pesos.
Yeah.
So they park it in there at like 8:45 at night. Mm-hmm. 8:45 in the morning.
Right.
And, we go over to the boat or to the ferry, take the boat over, whatever. So we get back, what was it, like 7, 8? Yeah, something like that. And we all go back, they go back to their hotel for a little bit, and then they go to move the car because after 10, it is free. Yeah. It's from 10 p.m. to 10 a.m. It's free to park on the street. Yeah. So they move it out, or they go to move it out of the garage or the parking lot, and the guy had written like the ticket. I guess the guy they checked in with is just like an idiot. He writes on the ticket, handwritten. It wasn't even like a printed ticket, like what time or whatever.
The little ticket thing must have been broken.
Yeah, so he had written 8:45. When they go to pay to check out, they thought he wrote 8:45 p.m. So instead of charging 15 pesos for fucking 12, 15 hours or whatever it was, they were only getting charged 45 pesos. And of course,
not saying a word.
No, yeah, I'm like, fuck it, yeah. So they were trying to pay with 100 pesos to 100 peso bill, which is $5.
Yeah.
45 pesos is what, like about $2.30 or something. Yeah. They didn't have change for it at a place that only takes change.
Yeah.
Or cash and charges 80 cents an hour. Doesn't have change, like for a $5 bill.
I know we've talked about this before, but Playa del Carmen, get your shit together with the change.
I don't understand the change.
Who's keeping the change?
Got the
Why
change?
Is there no change? The only places that have it, even Chedraui, our big grocery store, they have issues with change. We'll go there and you think they would have an abundance. Nope.
Yeah. So they said, fuck no, you ain't getting my extra 55 pesos. Nope. So they went to the grocery store, made change, came back, boom, done and done. Yeah. So that was what was that? That was Friday, I guess. Saturday, we decided to do the all-you-can-drink brunch.
Yes,
which is always a great idea on Saturday.
Always a fun time. Yeah, I'm so happy. Julie was like, "I want a brunch." We're like, "Let's do it."
Yeah. And so my dad is often complaining about the music in Playa. Not that he doesn't like the music, but it's usually too loud, or we're too close to the band, or the speaker, or whatever.
All of the above. Yeah. There's a lot of like rock and kind of like, which rock is fine, but it'll be loud. It'll be a small area.
And he's a little hard to hear.
Yes. It'll always be so loud. I agree.
Yeah. So at the brunch, we found out he loves jazz.
Yep.
I don't even know if he likes the music. I think he just likes that it's not super loud. It's kind of mellow.
Agreed. I think he's like, oh, I really like this. And he was taking video of the drummer and guitar player and everything. He loved it.
Yeah. So if your parents ever complain about the music, throw on some jazz.
Yeah. That'll calm him right down.
Jazz. Yeah. So, and this is all the same day. So we went straight from all you can drink brunch. Then did we go to the pool or something? We went to our pool.
Yep.
Went to our pool, had some, a couple beers there. And then me, our friend Marlos and Jorge, and then my dad were going to the soccer match. Mm-hmm. And what were you doing?
I had a sip and paint night with my girlfriends across the street.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
it was a long day.
Yeah. So yeah, it was, because we were since now we have to. Well, first we went and had a fucking liter of beer. Then we went to the soccer match, and we can't bring our own beer anymore, so we brought tequila.
Ugh.
And yeah, that was a bad idea.
Okay.
Because I was hammered. I remember I came after the match. We came to see you at paint night, and I just did. Funny enough, our friend Charlotte is Irish, and I did the old Irish goodbye because I was fucking done.
You did. We saw you. We're like, "Where's Nate?" And Charlotte's like, "I think he just went down the stairs. I think he left. Maybe he went to go say hi to Jonathan." We're like, "No, he went home."
Yeah.
You're like, "I'm done."
Yeah, I was. It was a long day, but it was fun. It was a good weekend.
It was good.
Let's see what else I've done. Oh, my dad has obviously they've been here since July.
January.
Jesus. January. It feels like July. Just kidding. So he's been here for about 3 months and has not got his hair cut.
Right.
So it's starting to get a little.
Yeah, he's getting a little fuzzy there.
Yeah. So I was, and full disclosure, my dad goes to this guy in Iowa named Mr. Chu, Asian guy, doesn't speak English there. So he likes going there because he doesn't like to make small talk during his haircut.
Which I can appreciate. Just
Totally.
focus on my haircut, not what I'm telling you.
Yeah. So he's been going to this guy for like 30 years or something,
God.
25, 30 years. And so I was like, Dad, you got to get your haircut. Let's go. I want to get my haircut. I go to this Argentinian guy, super cheap. It's like $8. Let's do it.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we go there, and I'm thinking like, I'm going to get my haircut first, and then we're going to switch chairs, and then I can explain in Spanish what my dad wants as a haircut, which I don't even know what the fuck he wants, because mine's easy. I just say number 1 on the sides, shorten up the top a little bit, blend it in, done, you know.
Feed it.
Yeah. Sometimes.
Feed it is back.
But I'm like, how do you tell somebody how to do your hair when it's not, you know, I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
I only know how to do my hair. You just say what, like, give it a little bit of a trim. I hate when they ask you how short do you want or how much do you want off. Yeah. I'm sorry, I don't know how many millimeters hair it is, you know. I'm like, I don't know what, like you would think, oh, an inch or something. An inch is a lot,
Yeah.
you know, hair wise, even for girls with long hair, a couple inches.
You're talking to me. I don't know how you do it with boys' hair, but yeah, like when my lady's like, we should cut off an inch or two. And I'm like, an inch or two? That's a lot. No, thank you.
Yeah.
Just a little dusting.
Yeah. Little dusty dust. So I go up and I can get my hair cut. Well, the other guy gets done. So then my dad has to go up and sit in the chair and explain to him, you know, who this guy mainly just speaks Spanish, what he wants. He whips out his phone and he has before pictures. Oh. Before he left, he had the forethought to take pictures of his hair, and it was like a mugshot or something. It was like front, side, back. Like,
I saw them. He didn't. It's just like.
Yeah, and he looks very like stern. I was like, good idea, but also, who thinks of that other than dads?
So smart. Well, I mean, that is good. If you just got your hair cut the way you like it, that is smart. You know, hey, this is what I usually get. This is what it looks like now grown out. This will help guide you. But I feel like barbers and hairstylists, they can see kind of, especially guys' hair, where it was or whatever. But it was probably way easier than explaining in Spanish.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. But
or
yeah,
broken
super
Spanish.
And he has some kind of like scraggly eye, or like what are they called? Like
old man brows.
Yeah, or like not flyaways, whatever. You know, like a scraggly eyebrow. Yeah, a little outlier of an eyebrow. And they trimmed his eyebrows too, and he was like, "Thank you so much," giving a fist bump, like, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Fucking hilarious.
He said they got his
the ear hair too.
The ear hair. So he was like, I didn't know if they were gonna touch me up, and he did. He touched me up everywhere. I was like, oh.
Right. Yeah. So we got our ears lowered, and it's funny. My brother made the joke, and he was like, he said, "Oh, another guy to cut Dad's hair that he doesn't understand."
Yes, you don't have to talk to him.
Yeah,
either.
you don't have to talk to anybody. He only gets his hair cut by foreigners.
Oh my gosh, that's great. They must do a good job.
They do. They
a
always
great
do.
They do.
Yeah. So now let's get to a couple Airbnb horror stories.
Oh yeah. I have one funny one and then one horror story. So I guess we'll start with the horror story.
Yeah.
So we have guests come that need help with their transportation to and from the airport. So we work with a local transportation company that my boss has worked with them for years, really trustworthy, great guys. They have a whole team, really nice cars. So we'll help them set up transportation. I know you always plan our trips, especially when we come here, and you look at transportation and all these different things. Some people don't even think about it. Oh, yeah. We're like, how are you getting from the airport to the property? Like, oh, I didn't think about that yet. Is there like public transportation or something, or a taxi or an Uber?
Yeah, Uber has like ruined everybody, so nobody pre-plans anything.
Right. No Uber here. I mean, they have it a little bit in Cancun, but nowhere else in Quintana Roo. So no Uber here. So I had to break that to her. But then I explained, the pricing for transportation and all that, set her up for a pickup. And then she wanted to set up her arrival pickup and her departure pickup.
Gotcha.
Set both of those up. So they land in Cancun, get there. I don't hear anything until like 30 minutes after the pickup. And I guess it was a big debacle because there was a discrepancy over like 400 pesos, which I think it was just a misunderstanding. So
like they thought it was one amount and it was 400 pesos
and
more.
I guess the guest got a little snippy with the driver and he was threatening to leave them because of their attitude. So, but on their side, I think they thought he was trying to scam him.
Yeah,
a little bit.
the company quote, like they thought the company quoted him something. Then the driver's trying to up it a little bit and take a little bit off the top, skim some for himself.
Exactly.
Right.
So we didn't really hear from anyone until after the fact, and then we're trying to piece everything together. And they were like, the guest left, the driver left, and the guest left. We're not sure how they're getting there. So I'm freaking out. Like you just left them, which is not typical for our drivers.
Yeah.
So long story long, comes back around to find out that since they didn't take the ride, that the driver is going to hold us responsible for the full amount that they didn't pay them. And I'm like, well...
Which was like, what, $120 or something like that?
2,400 pesos. So I'm like freaking out, like, oh my God, I don't want to pay this money. What the heck? Where are they? And
which they have a cancellation policy too, right?
True.
Like, or not cancellation, a no-show.
Yeah.
So like if nobody shows that, or I mean like if the guest doesn't show up or, their flight is canceled and the driver still had to drive out there, then you have to pay like almost a little less than half. So like 1,100 pesos, right?
Correct. Yeah. Which we've changed that since now. But so then I'm going through that all day trying to figure out. We haven't heard from the guests still, though. Usually when people are pissed off or something's wrong, I hear from them. They're like, hey, this is what's going on. This is what I said. We didn't hear from anybody. So all day you saw me. I'm pouting that I'm going to have to fork over $100 of my own money. I'm like, Jesus. And
which still didn't make sense to me because if there's a no, like what was the difference between the no show and the I didn't take your ride? Like
right.
The no show, they still had to drive out there and drive back. So
True.
You should have I thought you should have just had to pay the no show, which
it's kind of hard because this is a transportation company that we
Totally.
worked with for a while. So we don't want to piss them off and leave them high and dry.
Exactly.
But then also we don't want to hit the guest hasn't even checked in yet. We don't want to hit him like, hey, you didn't take this ride. You owe us 2,400 pesos. And I'm sure you paid 2,400 pesos to another driver to get here. So that was like a touchy way to win.
Right. But I meant you, like if you were going to have to cover some of it, it's just, I thought it was crappy if they were going to charge you the full amount when if they didn't interact with the guest at all, they would have only had to pay 1,100 pesos. So that's what you should have had to have paid.
Right.
But
at the end of the day, it was kind of my fault because I usually send a confirmation and I didn't send it in time. So maybe they didn't get to read it. But anyway, so.
But on both ends, they should have. The driver should have called his boss to call you and be like, hey, what's the deal?
Yeah.
And the guest should have been like, hey, you didn't tell me a price, but the price that I had seen previously that you'd mentioned, this is more than this. Like, why is that? Like, why did nobody call you?
Yeah, exactly. And it's only 400 pesos different. So if someone would have just messaged us $20, I would have been like, I'll pay the $20. That's fine. Just get them in the car for the rest of the money.
For sure.
Keep everyone happy, both sides, whatever.
Yeah.
So then later in the day, I think it was like dinner time. We're hanging out, making dinner or whatever. They messaged me and they did take the ride.
Oh.
They actually ended up taking our taxi and not their own taxi. So I don't know if they worked it out and apologized or something and ended up getting in the car, but they did confirm that they took it. So I got out of the 2,400 pesos and all I am paying is the 400 peso difference.
The $20. Oh, that's so much better.
I would have been so sad.
See, you didn't have to be in a bad mood all day and beat me incessantly. I mean, you could have just stopped.
I was like, it's all your fault. So that worked out great. I was like, thank you. Like, I appreciate it so much. Karma of the universe.
Yes. Oh, that's so great. So,
oh my gosh. That would have been terrible.
But it is weird that how many people just show up without a ride, or they don't confirm. Like, wouldn't you want to know that? Like, if she was under the impression you scheduled a ride for her, which you did, why wouldn't you like double check what the price is? Or whatever?
I would be like, hey, where's my confirmation? I want to make sure. We do have guests that do that. They'll ask a few times, just want to make sure I'm good. These people were like, good, I trust
whatever.
you, off the grid. Bye.
Yeah.
Didn't hear from them until the other day.
Yeah. And what's the funny story from your Airbnb experiences?
Funny story. We actually had one of our newest homes. We had 2 women stay there. Really nice. Didn't hear from them much. And then when they're checking out, they messaged us, thank you so much. We love this place. You guys were great. Everything was wonderful and had everything we needed and more. So we're like, oh, no problem. Great. And then later on, she sends us another little message and says, hey, I just wanted to let you guys know, but I didn't tell you ahead of time. Like the second day I arrived, I had an accident, but I didn't want to make you guys feel bad.
Oh, she peed the
the
bed.
whole time. Like accident. We're like, oh God. All I see is accident pop up on my phone. I'm like, oh no, what happened? The TV. I'm thinking the worst, the linens,
Depends.
something, poop somewhere. I don't know.
True.
Random shit. She was like, no, you guys did such a good job cleaning. We have all these big windows and like sliding glass doors. You did such a good job of cleaning the windows that she ran right into it.
Oh no.
And she broke her finger.
Oh, what the fuck? How does that even happen? I thought you were going to say she broke the glass or had to replace it and didn't tell you or something.
That's what, and she's like dragging this story out on WhatsApp text. It's like, so I ran into the glass and I broke something and I broke my finger. We're like, oh my God, thank God it was just her finger, but thank God it wasn't the glass.
Yeah.
We felt so bad. We're like, are you okay? And she's like, I'm totally fine. I was just laughing about it. Went to the doctor down the street. She Googled it, figured it out, went and got a little thing on her finger and good to go.
But also, how do you break your finger? I mean, does she walk like this?
Maybe she was going and was like, oh shit.
Like, hello, I'm just walking down out the window, going out the sliding glass door with my fingies.
I thought she was going to
Like,
say she busted her nose or a tooth or something. But yeah, a finger, she must have been like just right into it.
Yeah, she's like going out there to yell at somebody. Get off my lawn.
Get up. People get shitty when they come down here. I think Tulum, they're just like, I need to get shit-faced all the time.
Well, one of our friends also ran into a glass door, and she sent a picture of her lipstick pressed against the glass.
It was just her little nose and her lips like, boop.
Yeah. But then weren't you guys having a debate if it was her or you or one of our other friends? It's a little shorter.
Yeah.
And how did you guys figure out?
The sizing didn't make sense because she went up and was like, look, it's down here, but my nose is up here. And then the other girl's way shorter and I'm short too. So it wasn't us. And then I'm just standing there looking at her. I'm like, I always thought you were taller than me. And she's like, no, I always wear like my wedge shoes, like our platform shoes. I'm like, it's because you had the shoes on that when you ran into the door. And they were like,
mystery solved.
3 of us were like, I don't know. She's like, are we sure this was me? Because she didn't break anything. Her nose, her lips, teeth, nothing.
Oh my God.
So funny.
On the next True Detective.
I was like, something's fishy here.
Oh my God. That's funny.
It was a glass door weekend, I guess.
It was. That does sound like a good like music festival. You guys, or a band name. You guys
yeah.
going to Glassdoor Weekend?
It probably is. Glassdoor Weekend.
This Friday?
So funny.
Shit. Well, yeah, those are some good Airbnb stories.
Really good.
So
you had a fun adventure yesterday.
I sure did. I've been, as I've spoke about before, I've been doing some more tours, and I got called up to do this one tour with a family. Luckily, the family was in Playa del Carmen, and it was to do snorkeling with the sea turtles.
Ooh.
And then go to the cenote snorkeling in the caves.
Okay.
So
things that you're comfortable with.
Totally, except for I've never done the snorkeling with the sea turtles tour. Right. I've done it myself, like just gone with my snorkel and snorkel with the sea turtles. Yeah,
we've been to Akumal where they are. We just didn't get to the turtles.
Yeah, well, we went out there and snorkeled and stuff, but like, yeah, we didn't do like a tour or anything like that. So I'm like just trying to wing it. My buddy that owns the company was giving me some good information, but it's still, I'm a very visual learner. I like to and you're supposed to kind of know, like act like you know what's going on. Like if there's something you're unsure about, you're not supposed to do it in front of the guests. Hey, why don't you guys hang out over here? I'm going to go and, get us checked in or whatever. And then you go over and you kind of handle whatever the situation is.
Very nice.
But I'm like I said, I'm a visual person, so I want to know like where I'm going. I don't want to go in there and be like, oh, where are we? Like, where do we go?
Exactly.
So normally what happens, like when we do the cenote snorkeling tour, when I get to the office, I get the cooler with the drinks and the snacks and everything, put it in the van. And then they also give me a bag with the appropriate amount of snorkel masks and little snorkel
Nice.
things. Do you call these snorkels?
Yeah, what's the snorkel? I guess it's a snorkel mask, and then this is the snorkel.
Tubas.
I like how
in
you
Spanish.
say this.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello, I am a snorkeler.
Bueno.
Yeah, bueno. And then a light because it's in the cave, so you're snorkeling in the water in the cave.
Scary.
So normally I have that, and I'm like looking around and I don't see it, and I gotta get better at my Spanish. But this guy, the office manager there, doesn't speak any English, so we're kind of like trying to translate back and forth, and so he's like, yeah, so and normally at the sea turtle snorkeling area, you we'll get the snorkels there, like they have a stash of them there. But for the cenote tour, you got to bring your own. Because it's just in the fucking jungle, and we just have permission to use the cenote.
Nobody's out there.
No, so except for there's life jackets out there. That's the only thing.
Oh, okay.
So I go to the office guy. I was like, hey, I don't have my snorkel stuff, and so he goes and looks around a little bit, and then he's like translates to me, and he says, oh, you got to arrange it to grab the snorkels from some other. Like another guide, basically.
Oh, shit.
I'm like, well, number one, I don't know any of the other guides really yet. And I'm like, well, how do I do that? Like, I don't know where they are. And I'm not I have a driver. I have a guy that's driving the van.
Yeah.
So how am I meeting up with them? Even if they're on the same tour where we could hand them off.
Yeah.
First of all, they're snorkels that have been in somebody else's mouth. So you don't want to, hand them off like that.
Gotta disinfect.
Yeah. And then, what if we're not there at the same time or something? And I was like, okay, whatever. So, I knew at least the snorkels and Aquamal were there.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, so we will, I guess figure this out when I get there. He's gonna figure it out or something. So I call my buddy that owns the company, and I was telling him the situation. He's like, oh no, that's not correct. Like that, they shouldn't have let you leave without the snorkels. But so I'm like, okay, well, we're on our way to go pick up the guest right now.
They let me leave.
Yeah, they let us leave. So he's like, all right, let me figure out the first half. Because I guess we're supposed to also bring the snorkels to Aquamal because we're just going to use the same ones at both places.
Makes sense.
And Aquamal is a little city about 20 minutes south of Playa del Carmen. Maybe 30. That's a turtle sanctuary, and that's where all the turtles are, and that's where you can swim with them. You can go there and rent stuff and everything, but the tour is way better because, we give you all the information.
Yeah.
But so I'm messaging with him, and of course, where I'm waiting for the guests at, like I don't have any service there, and I'm in and out. And he messaged me back. He's like, "All right, bro." He's like, "We got the first half taken care of. You can borrow the snorkels from the guys at the cove where the sea turtles are. And one of the parts is you have to go into the protected area with a turtle guide. Like, so it's me, like the tour guide, and then I also have the turtle guide who's going to like snorkel with us and kind of show us where to see the most turtles, and also make sure that none of the guests like do anything to them, because you're not allowed to touch them. They're endangered, and you can get salmonella from turtles, I guess. So we get there, and I'm like, okay guys, why don't you go just hang out in the van for a second, I'm gonna go get us checked in. Hear back from my buddy, and he's like, okay, he's like, we got you the first half. These guys that are renting the snorkel masks out, they're going to give you a couple, the snorkel masks for the guests, just make sure you give them back to them. And I was like, okay, great. So get that set up. We go to get in the water, and it's it's basically like a mom and a dad about our age, and they have two younger kids. One's like maybe 8 and the other one's 5 or 6 or something. And then there's like the wife's parents. So it'd be like our parents coming with us. Okay. And so that's like kind of the dynamic. When we get there, they're all like the grandparents are like, oh, we haven't snorkeled in like 25 years. And then the kids have never snorkeled. So I'm like trying to tell the guide, like, hey, we need to like practice like in the shallow water first. Yeah. So we practice a little bit. Then the little girl starts crying.
No.
She doesn't want to go. The little boy, he was good to go, but he just didn't know what the fuck he was doing because he's not a snorkeler.
Yeah.
So they put him in this little inner tube
Oh.
that, the guide carries around to show
yeah.
you where he is. And so they put him in the inner tube so he could just dunk his head in the water.
Very
So
nice.
yeah, he was super cool.
I like that.
Yeah. We saw a ton of snorkels, ton of sea turtles.
Very nice.
Really cool. Like they were popping. And I was, since I hadn't done this tour before, I was like, oh my God, did you see that? And I'm like, wait, I got to act like I've done this a million times,
You're like, he still finds joy and he does this all the
Yeah,
time.
and they did, because after we got out, the dad was like, so you do this like 4 or 5 times a week? And I'm like, yep.
Oh my God.
Fucking, I'm just amazed every time.
Yeah, every time.
Yeah.
Turtles are just such a blessing.
But the turtles, like they would eat seagrass for a little bit on the bottom, and then they'd come up and they go, and they'd get a couple like gulps of air.
Yeah.
Like they go up twice and then they go back down. So it was super cool, because you could be sitting there and then a turtle would come up and put his head up and be like, ah,
You're like, "Hi."
and then go back down.
Don't touch me.
So we get done with that, and we have time to spend at the restaurant, and we give them a little bit of credit at the restaurant to be able to get a drink or snack or whatever.
Yeah.
So they got
Gotcha.
beers, Cokes, and French toast.
French toast?
Yeah, well, the kids did. The kids
Okay.
ordered French toast and Coke because they don't get to drink Coke at home. And then the adults got beer. So while they're doing that, I'm calling my buddy like, hey, what are we doing about the second part?
Oh
Like,
my
I hadn't
God.
heard anything yet. We're about to go drive off into the fucking jungle where there are no snorkel masks.
No.
And I'm like, fuck, like, what do we do? Like, what if they ask me about it? And he's like, have you said anything about snorkeling? I was like, I did at the beginning, but half of them weren't great at snorkeling, so they might not. And he's like, just don't mention it. Maybe they won't notice. And
Yeah.
I was like, okay, cool. So we get in the van, we drive out there, and I'm giving the whole spiel about the Maya, like some of the Mayan history, and then the history of our state in Mexico and stuff. So we get there, and normally there's like nobody there because it's only our tour or our company that can use this cenote, and then some scuba divers that are allowed to go in there. Of course, we pull up there. There's 2 tours from our company, and they all have snorkel masks with them.
Yikes.
And at first I'm thinking, oh, we could get the snorkel mask. But then I was like, no, I don't want them to put snorkels in their mouth that have not been cleaned. So we're not doing that. But then I'm like, oh, great. Of course they're there and they see the snorkel mask. I mean, they could. I was worried that they're going to be like, oh, well, yeah, are we getting our snorkels or what?
Oh my God.
Luckily, they didn't say anything about it.
They
And
probably were like, that was enough snorkeling for us.
yeah, exactly.
Like the
And
turtles.
they were so amazed at the cave. We were supposed to spend like maybe half hour in the cave. I kept them in there for an hour and a half.
Wow.
I mean, I keep them in there, but
Yeah.
I didn't tell them to leave because I just wanted to make sure they were happy with their tour, even though we weren't snorkeling.
Yeah.
Just swimming through the caves. Even the little girl came in.
Wow.
We go through this like little opening, and then you come out into this big open cavern,
Ah,
and there's like a little island in there, and you can jump off the island into the like super clear water. It's like 30 feet deep.
Wow.
And there's all the stalactites and stalagmites, and so
That's very impressive. Cenotes are amazing.
oh yeah, I gotta take you to this one. It's really cool.
I can't wait. Give me a tour.
I will. You gotta sign up.
I'll bring my snorkel.
But anyway, so crisis averted. Even though we did not have the snorkel mask, they had a great time. Awesome family. As I said before, my families always have like these super intelligent kids. Both of them could speak like a little bit of Spanish. They're like, oh, we're in a bilingual school.
Oh, of
I was
course.
like, oh, of course, yeah. But they're in. I think they're originally from Florida, but live in Chicago, and then the parents live in LA or something like that. But yeah, super smart kids, reading books again, knowing Spanish. I'm like, geez.
I'm going to read this book
Must be
before
nice.
I pop in my cenote.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. So anyway, so it all worked out. Had a great time, and the family had a fabulous time.
I'm glad. That was good to hear.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I was worried for you. So I'm
and
glad it worked out.
Oh, and I took them to our favorite taco spot afterwards, El Fogón, and they bought me some tacos.
Very
so it was great.
nice.
So
Oh,
I
that's great.
got paid and tipped to snorkel with sea turtles, swim through caves, and eat tacos.
Eat tacos.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
great.
it's a rough life, guys.
Sounds
I'm
like
sorry.
a day. We're so sorry.
Yeah. But I was so fucking tired. Like I think I fell asleep before you.
You
that night.
left at like 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. and then you didn't come home till like 5
Yeah.
p.m.
I was
I was like, where are you?
because I kept them in into the cave so long, but I didn't have
Yeah.
like my phone on me, so I didn't know much time. I was just let it ride.
Yeah, letting it feel.
Yeah. So, well, that is about it for this past week.
It was a busy week.
It was. We got a busier weekend though,
I
because
know.
coming up, well, I guess it is this week, yeah, because today is Friday.
It's Friday.
We are in Mérida, which is in the state of Yucatan. Really, really nice historic city, colonial city.
We've been once before for
Yeah.
a short trip.
Yeah, this is very close to the tip of the, like if you look at the curl of Mexico, the Yucatan Peninsula, it's like maybe like 45 minutes into it.
Okay.
And then we're there for 2 days with my parents. And then because they haven't been since my dad was he was in optometry school in the 70s. He was an eye doctor, and he did a mission trip down to Merida to like check people's eyes, and they had a bunch of glasses donated that they were given to like underprivileged children and stuff. So so he hasn't been there since like 1976 or something like
It'll
that.
be interesting to see.
Yeah. But and then we go up to Progreso, which is a beach town just north on the very top tip of the curl of Mexico. And our friend Sydney, that used to live in our building, lives there now. So we're going to go see her.
And Cheyenne.
And Cheyenne,
We're so
the
excited.
Chihuahua.
I'm here for the Cheyenne.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
But, yeah, right. But cool info about Progreso. This is where the meteorite hit that like took out the whole dinosaur population.
That's
Just
right.
killed all the dinosaurs.
There's got to be like a spot we can go see, right? Like a little area.
I think there's
or
like a
something?
museum there, but like
Okay.
obviously it was, I think it was like the size of Texas or something like that. The
Oh.
meteorite, like it was huge.
Yeah.
And so like the reason they know like that's where it hit or whatever is obviously from ground samples. But if you look at like the topography from above,
Yeah.
you can see like a depression in
Ah.
it's part in the land and then part in the ocean.
I gotcha.
But it's just massive. So it's nothing you could see from like ground level.
I got you.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to walk into a huge crater like we did
No,
in wherever.
Yeah,
Wherever
exactly.
we were.
Yeah, where was that? Was that like Arizona or something?
Arizona.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crater, the Great Crater Escape.
Yeah. It was huge and windy as fuck.
Oh yeah, you
there.
blew out your eardrum.
I did. I think I got an ear infection from the wind there.
Meteor Crater Natural Landmark in Winslow, Arizona.
Winslow. Yeah, it was a bit out.
It was a bit Winslowy.
Winslow. It was so windy. Every picture we're like,
Yeah. Yeah. So we should have some good stories from Merida and Progreso this weekend.
I'm excited.
We also did the women's volleyball tournament that was here in Playa del Carmen, so we'll probably have some stories from that. And yeah, that's about it. So, all right. Well, if you want to support the podcast, buymeacoffee.com. If you're appreciating the stories and the information and the fun times, we'd really appreciate any help you can be. You can buy us some virtual beers there. You can also go to hansonsonhiatus.com. You can become a monthly Fucky supporter. You could also go to our merch shop.
Yep.
We got a bunch of new shirts in. If you're getting ready for 420, got some 420 shirts up there, right?
Yep.
Yep.
You got 420, Easter, Spring Break, Weedster, whatever you want.
Weedster.
We got
Yeah,
it.
because 420 is on Easter this year.
Yeah.
And Greek Easter is on whatever the
American
other
Easter?
normal
Yeah.
Easter or whatever.
We
What would you
used
call
to-
it?
when I would-
Orthodox Easter?
Orthodox, yeah.
The Greek Orthodox Easter
Oh, yeah.
versus Christian Easter.
I always
guess.
remember calling my yaya and saying, Happy Easter. And she'd be like, This is American Easter. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. What is the difference? Like, are they don't agree on, because Easter is what, like when Jesus died or was resurrected?
You're asking the
I think-
wrong
I
person.
think it was resurrected. I'm gonna go on a limb and say I'm probably wrong, but
Probably.
But
well, yeah, because in Greek Easter, we say, when you greet someone for Easter, you say, He is risen. He is truly risen. You say, Christos anesti, alethos anesti. I'm pretty sure. I probably butchered it, but it's like, He has risen. He is truly risen. Something like that. So I don't know.
oh, he resurrected. Yeah.
There you go. Yes. But I was actually looking up Greek Easter because I never know when it is every year. And then it was giving me more information about it, about the full moon, since we were just talking about the full
Oh,
moon
shit.
right after that. So,
Damn.
sorry.
All right. Well, yeah. So, but yeah, I guess they disagree on when he came back to
I
life
get
or whatever.
a disagreement with different religions?
What?
Never. Oh, my
Yeah.
goodness.
Yeah. So, check out hansonsonhiatus.com for the merch shop. Like, follow, share, subscribe, Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, iTunes, YouTube Music at Hansons on Hiatus. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Happy Friday, fuckers.
Happy Friday, fuckies.
That's it. Thanks for listening. Goodbye for now. Bye.